everyone. Melly from HAWO here, and today we have Master Teacher Mike, who's going to be speaking to us about engaging students with digital tools and secondary reward systems. So he's going to start off the discussion talking about one of his favorite games to play with students called Mario Kart. So Master Teacher Mike, could you lead us on that first part of the discussion?
All right, so once they decide who they want to be, we get our racetrack on. How we play is this. What I want the students to do is give their best effort. So in order to move in the race, everyone starts at the beginning. They have to get stars. And for every star, every 3 stars, I'm sorry, they move in the track. Sometimes we will go digital and we'll use a dice that I have on the computer. And they just move down the track. But I try to stick with the stars. That way they're raising their hands, they're participating more, as opposed to letting a dice decide who the winner will be. That's how my Mario Kart works. All right, another game that I like to play with my group classes is the ice cream game. Ice cream game, we have lots of different flavors for them to choose. I have lots of colors. The way we work, again, is with the stars. For every 3 stars that the student gets, they get to choose an ice cream color. At the end of the class, whoever has the most ice cream wins the competition. And what's best is that they get to eat their ice cream at the end of class, which always works. They end the class with a laugh. So kids love it.
All right, those are fantastic props. So could you tell me a little bit about how you make them, how you store them, how you get them to stick on the board?
Sure. All my games have, oh, no, that's easier, that's easy. I use magnets for everything that I have. And over here, it's a bit messy. I'll show you anyways, but is where I keep everything. How I organize or get ready for my classes is I have an Excel file with all my group classes. I know which kids I'm going to teach ahead of time, and then I also keep track of what games we have played. That way we're not doing the same thing and it stays fresh. One week we'll play the Mario Kart races. The next week we'll do the ice cream game, and then we'll do the Candyland. That way they're having fun, and each week it's something new, not the same thing every day or every class. As far as how I make them or get them, I do both. I print them out and I do make them. I do have another, just like the filing system I have up top, I have down below with my own little office supplies, a bunch of office supplies. And I make them in my free time. How I come up with them, I try to base everything on the 5 stars. What game can I do that I can use in group classes, as well as use in the one-on-ones with 5 stars. So none of my games have less than 5 pieces. That way they can be used in both classes.
Great. So those are excellent physical props. How about digital tools? What do you use in terms of digital tools for the classroom?
I have other games that I like to use, like Hangman. I use Connect 4. I use the dots and boxes that we played as children. So those are on websites that I'll show the image on where my picture would be, and the children or students will play the game either against me, or I will divide them into teams and we can play that way.
With all these tools, what do you find? How do you find that they impact the classroom? So how do they impact learning, the learning experience?
What I've noticed is that it keeps the students entertained. It keeps them wanting to earn the next piece in a puzzle or wanting to beat the teacher in the race. But because they always win, before I let them do that, I make sure to, hey, let's pay attention to the lesson. Let's try this sentence one more time. So I make sure that we're focusing on the class before we have fun. So it's a great way for me to keep them engaged, focused, and giving their best effort in class is what I've come to notice as far as the games are concerned.
Do you find that certain games work with better with different ages? Are there any rules you could give teachers and if they're thinking about their own games, what to plan for with different age groups?
Not so much. I guess you just have to get a feel for the student, because what might work for one 7-year-old might not work for the next 7-year-old. You have to get a feel for the student, in my opinion. And some of them like puzzles, and some of them are more into video games, and you have to go the digital route as opposed to the physical games.
Great. With these games, do you feel like they foster any peer-to-peer learning?
What I've noticed and what I like is that they become real competitive. So they have lots of fun. And each class, they're always remembering, okay, for example, Peter won last class, I'm going to be the winner this time. Or I want to be the best student this class. So it's great team building, and they get to interact more as opposed to just, I'm here for my 45 minutes, let's get it over with. And they have fun.
Like, I know you are a very big fan of ManyCam and
Yes.
use it really well in the classroom. So could you tell us a little bit about how you use ManyCam? What are the benefits? Maybe what are some of the drawbacks? And walk the teachers through that tool.
As far as ManyCam goes, it's a great tool because it has lots of different digital props you can use in your classes. You can go to their website, get fruits, vegetables, even if get some funny faces to get the children laughing. And so that's a great advantage. One of the things that I used to use that I found to be a little bit of a disadvantage was the backgrounds. I like to put backgrounds sometimes like a classroom setting that was prior to my classroom setting that I have now. And sometimes I would put like a library background, but for that, you need a backdrop, and the lighting, if it's not exactly right, won't work perfect. Sometimes the background will show up on your face. So not exactly the greatest thing.
Yeah, and I think your background's great because it seems you can maneuver it so easily with your hands because of the magnet. So that works really well.
Yeah.
Great.
That's another advantage actually, because of the magnets. I can move it. So if I have to, if I want to play the games, I can do so. With ManyCam, I cannot. If I have a background, I cannot.
Great. Okay, so let's finish up with some final advice that you have for teachers and how they can incorporate secondary reward system, physical props, and digital tools into their classroom.
Okay. As far as digital tools, things like the games that I mentioned earlier, the Hangman, the Connect 4, those are fun games. Everyone knows how to play them. There's the version, there's a Chinese version also, similar to Connect 4, but you play 5. It's black and white chips, and I forget the name right now to tell you exactly. As far as the Gomoku, I think it's called. And as far as the secondary rewards, I would definitely recommend them, because the children come to learn first, but I think after the long day that they've had at school, a little fun is always good to be incorporated into the classes, so they don't feel overwhelmed that I'm in class after class.
Right, making learning fun. Excellent. All right, well, thank you, Master Teacher Mike, for joining us here today and showing us your wonderful tools in teaching. Uh, Thanks.
Thank you for having me.
Bye.
Bye bye.